Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today we're doing part 3 of a series of videos about useful expressions. So this is part 3 of a series of videos about useful expressions, and in this lesson you will learn 6 new expressions. So expression 1, this is a verb. To gate crash. To gate crash. So what does this mean? Well, the meaning of the expression is to go to a party or event when you have not been invited. Okay, so you have not been invited. So it's when you force your entrance into a party. Okay, so you shouldn't be there. Now this is the literal meaning, because as you can see, this verb, there are 2 parts. We have gate and then crash. So gate, this is a gate. So a gate is an entrance, okay, an entrance. And crash, it means to break, to break. So the literal meaning is, well, you break the entrance. You break the entrance, you force the door or the gate, and then you go into a party. But of course you don't physically break a door when you go to a party, when you gate crash. You simply, say, oh hi, I'm a friend of whoever is organizing the party. Okay? So here is an example. John asks, what did you do last night? And Mark replies, I went to a party in London. And John says, oh, well, whose party was it? So this means who organized the party, who owned the party. And Mark says, I don't know. I gate crashed it. Okay, so I don't even know who organized the party. I don't know whose house it was, because I gate crashed the party. I entered the house even though I wasn't invited. So you often see this in student houses, where you see a party, you're walking down the street and you see that there's a party in a house. So you knock on the door and you just simply go in and you say, oh yes, I know John. Okay. So it's quite a fun expression. Number 2, to give as good as you get. To give as good as you get. So what does this mean? Well, this means to treat people the same way that they treat you. And this often has a negative context. So when people treat you badly, then you also treat them badly. In other words, you defend yourself. And we're talking about with words, not physically. So if someone insults you, then it means that you insult them back. So when people tease you, it means that you also tease them back. You defend yourself. So when people tease you, this is the you get part. Okay, so you receive jokes and mocking, and you tease them back. You give. So you give in the same quantity that you get. To give as good as you get. So when people insult you with words, then you insult them back. So when you get insults, then you also give insults. The same level. Okay? So here's an example. John says, so they're having an argument, okay? Or they are maybe teasing each other slightly. Maybe they know each other. And so they're teasing each other. So John says, "Why are you so stupid?" And Mark replies, "Well, why are you so rude?" So John here is clearly insulting Mark, but Mark defends himself. So John is attacking Mark, and Mark decides, well, I'm going to attack you also. Why are you so rude? Okay, so he defends himself. So we say that Mark is giving as good as he's getting. So he's receiving insults, he's getting insults, and he's also giving them. Okay, he's defending himself, he's not letting people walk all over him. Okay, so we use this in the context of words: insults, teasing, mocking. And this is similar. This is a similar expression. To give someone a taste of their own medicine. To give someone a taste of their own medicine. And this is also defending yourself and getting revenge, but this is more with actions. So first of all, let's look at the literal meaning. So medicine. Well, here is medicine. So when you are ill, when you are sick, then you pour some medicine onto a spoon and you drink it. So the meaning of this expression is because often medicine, it doesn't taste nice. So if someone gives you medicine that doesn't taste nice, then to get your revenge, then you can also give them some medicine that doesn't taste nice. So to give someone a taste of their own medicine, to show someone that it doesn't taste nice. So it means to treat someone as badly as they have treated you. To get revenge by doing the same thing to someone. So someone does something bad to you and you want to get your revenge. So to get your revenge, you do exactly the same thing to them. Okay? So that they can see the bad taste of their own medicine. Okay? So here's an example. So this is David here. This is David. This is Claire. This is the boss. David, Claire, the boss. David is saying, and David is telling the story after the meeting. He's telling the story of this meeting to a friend. So he says, during the meeting, Claire criticized me in front of the boss. So David is not happy with Claire. And John says, oh no, that's terrible. And David says, in the next meeting, I'm going to give her a taste of her own medicine. I'm going to give her a taste of her own medicine. So this means in the next meeting, I'm going to get my revenge. So this means David is going to do the same thing back to Claire. So in the next meeting, probably David is going to criticize Claire in front of the boss. Okay? So that will give her a taste of her own medicine. To give someone a hard time. This means to make things difficult for someone. To make things unpleasant for someone. So, John forgot his wife's birthday. Big mistake. And of course, she's not happy. And so she is giving him a hard time. She's giving him a hard time. So she's making life difficult for him, for John. She's making things very unpleasant for John. So she's angry, and so she is giving him a hard time. Another example, Mark says, I was late for work yesterday. Jane says, "Well, what did your boss say?" And Mark replies, "Well, he gave me a hard time all day." So for the whole day, the boss gave Mark a hard time. You can see this is the boss, very angry with Mark. He gave Mark a hard time all day. So he was shouting, screaming, probably insulting Mark for the whole day. He gave him a hard time. So gave is the past simple form of give. This is an irregular verb. Okay, and here it is the present continuous. To go off on a tangent. To go off on a tangent. First of all, let me give you the literal definition of a tangent. It is something that we find in mathematics, in maths, in geometry, in fact. So in maths, in geometry, we have a circle. So this is a circle in black, and in red, this line is called a tangent. A tangent. And it's a line which just touches the circumference of the circle, and then it moves away. So the rest of the line, it is a long distance away from the circle. It's moving further and further away from the circle. And that will help you understand the meaning of this expression. Because the real meaning of this expression is it's when you're having a conversation and to change the subject in the middle of a conversation. To not focus on the subject of the conversation. Okay, so the circle represents the subject or the focus of the conversation. So if you go off on a tangent, you are moving away from the subject. Okay, you are moving away from the focus. You are a long distance away from the focus. You should be here, but you're here. Okay, so to go off on a tangent, it means to change the subject, to not be focused when you're talking. So here is a very, very common example. Here we have a journalist asking questions, and she's asking questions to a politician. So the journalist asks the following question: what are you going to do about youth unemployment? What are you going to do about youth unemployment? So unemployment of young people. And here is the politician's reply. Yes, it's true that many young people are unemployed. When I was young, I used to play football. Sport is essential for a healthy mind and body. I also enjoy swimming. So the question is about unemployment. But then the politician starts talking about when he was young. And he's talking about football. And then he's talking about sport in general. And then he's talking about swimming. So he's now talking about swimming. But the subject of the question is youth unemployment. So the politician is going off on a tangent. He's going off on a tangent. He's going off on a tangent. He's moving away from the focus of the conversation, the subject of the conversation. And politicians always do this. You can hear them on television, see them on television. They never answer the question. They're always avoiding the question, and they change the subject to talk about something else. They always avoid the main subject of the conversation. They always, or very often, go off on a tangent. To grin and bear it. So these are two verbs, to grin and to bear it. This is not an animal. This is not a furry. This is not a furry animal. This is a verb, to bear it. So to grin, it simply means to smile, to give a big smile. So here's an example of a grin. So a grin can be a noun. This is a grin, or a verb, to grin. She is grinning. Okay? And to bear it, if you bear something, it means that you accept something without complaining. Okay, you accept a bad situation without complaining. And that, in fact, is the meaning of this expression. It means to accept a bad situation without complaining. An example. Jane says it's raining. Can you drive me to the office? And Mark says, I'm really sorry, but I don't have time. And Jane says, well, that's okay. I'll grin and bear it. I'll grin and bear it. So here we have the future simple. This is the contracted form of I will grin and bear it. I will accept this bad situation without complaining. So the bad situation is it's raining and she has to walk. Okay? She's going to have to walk in the rain. But it's okay because she'll grin and bear it. Okay? She's not going to complain. Okay, there we are. Hope you enjoyed it. If you are preparing for the IELTS exam, then click here for information about our IELTS online course. And here are some other video lessons that I recommend.